All right, guys, welcome back to another Master Apprentice video and podcast. Today, we're going to kind of smash up a couple of different news articles and things like that. Star Wars has been, I don't really know how to put it, dead. There's not been a lot to talk about. The only thing is, kind of the failure of Star Wars Outlaws. It only sold 1 million copies since its release, which isn't really that impressive, especially for a game like a AAA game like that. So that's like the biggest news. But of recent, we've got some small tidbits that I think are worth kind of noting real quick. So the first is over the weekend at a Los Angeles Comic Con, Ewan McGregor was on a panel and some fans were asking questions, and it kind of came up a possibility of Kenobi season 2. He said they are exploring the ideas of season 2. I don't really know how important or how matter of fact this statement is. Just saying they're exploring doesn't really mean anything. He later went on to said that he was hoping we get to see him and Hayden Christensen in both their Clone Wars outfits, so that'd be really cool to see. But technically, behind the scenes, how likely is this to happen? I don't think it's any different than it was. Just the fact that they're announcing they're exploring it is, I think, good, because after the initial release of Kenobi, they pretty much said they're not doing it. So the fact that they're kind of reopening this book and saying, man, maybe it's worth doing is good, is interesting. But like I said, I don't know how matter of fact that's going to happen, especially with, it looks like 2025 Star Wars Celebration. It looks like Kathleen Kennedy's possibly going out the door. This isn't confirmed. This isn't stated. It just looks like a lot of rumors are kind of circling around this. This isn't fact. Don't take my word for it. This just seems like what's happening. And even if that's not true, what's happening, it does seem like they're really trying to slow the line of how much product they push out the door. So I don't know. We'll see. This is going to be very interesting. This kind of came out after Star Wars Theory's big interview with Stuart Beatty. This was the original writer of the Kenobi series. It was supposed to be like a trilogy, but after kind of the downfall of the Solo movie, it was kind of scrapped and rebrought into a original series that we saw, and that's what we got. And it obviously wasn't received very well, but its viewerships did okay. It wasn't like the Star Wars thing they put out. We've seen a lot worse since then, obviously. So, maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. I can't really confirm that, but I'm not going to say it didn't have anything to do with that because that did make headlines. So that's some pretty interesting news to kind of keep an eye out for. The other thing is the Bad Batch. We know season 3 was its finale. There's no more after, but they already continued their adventure. Later articles on the Direct are saying that the Clone Force 99 will focus of a new comic book story from renowned publisher Dark Horse Comics and will be released early next year, 2025. The comics will be Star Wars Hyperspace Stories, The Bad Batch, Ghost Agents. So that's also pretty interesting. The Bad Batch is a kind of, split off of the Clone Wars era. And I think for the most part, fans loved it. A lot of the hardcore fans, especially, the early 2000s kids who grew up with the Clone Wars, a lot of them took heart to the Bad Batch. So it's going to be good to see that that's going to be continue in some sort of way. And the last thing is the Mandalorians, and it looks like it's going to be coming to some sort of an end. The Mandalorian is going to be having a movie, I believe 2025, possibly 2026. No, 2026. They're going to be recording it and directing it and producing it in 2025. But with all that being said, fans didn't really know what to expect, right? You have 3 seasons and you're going to kind of cultivate it into one big movie. Is it going to continue after that? Going to make more seasons, more movies? And a couple different articles and reporters have kind of come out and said the movie's pretty much the end of The Mandalorian. And not the end of The Mandalorian as the character, just them kind of streamlining him to the front of the shelves. He's still going to show up in things like, Ahsoka and the Dave Filoni movie, like the quote unquote Heir of the Empire movie they're going to be doing in a couple years. He's still going to be a part of these projects. He's just not going to be getting his own show, The Mandalorian, or other movies with The Mandalorian and Grogu. Biggest products on Disney Plus. It was really its first success. You can say Loki and The Mandalorian are really its only 2 big successes. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they go from there after they kind of can it after the movie.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. I mean, we've gotten a lot of content from that era in the past couple of years, and we've gotten a good bit from in between episode 2 and episode 4, with the Clone Wars season 7 coming out and Bad Batch as well. Not a ton there, but I'm excited to see what they explore next, because The Force Awakens came out almost 10 years ago, and while people obviously did not like the sequels as much as they liked the rest of it, that's an area they can explore. So I mean, they're not limited to. It's not like they can't make more stuff in that era, but it kind of seems like they're getting close to saturating that area to the point where they want to explore other options. And the sequels would be a cool option, even though people didn't receive them very well.
Yeah. So let us know what you guys think down in the comments if you guys are excited, care about any of this news. Like I said, Star Wars is the space for Star Wars right now hasn't had much news. This is like the biggest news we've gotten for any Star Wars stuff in general recent. So let us know what you guys think down in the comments if you guys would be excited for a Kenobi season 2. I would be interested to hear them out. I thought, Kenobi was a nugget of gold wrapped in poop. There were some really great parts of Kenobi, and there were some really crappy parts of Kenobi. So I don't think it would be a total dead end for them to kind of reintroduce that. So let us know what you guys think down in the comments. If you guys are listening on podcast, we appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that download, follow, and share. And if you guys are on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. And we'll see you guys in the next one.